Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Edmund Ironside, and today we get to hear from the Earl of Southampton in Act 4, Scene 3. Now, things are wrapping up. We are in Act 4, Scene 3. We're getting close to the end. And Canutus, at this point in the play, is feeling pretty good about himself. So Canutus, remembers, and Edricus worked out a deal where Edricus was going to go and try to get into Edmund Ironside's good graces so that he could inform on him back to Canutus. But when Edricus got there, Edmund saw right through it, but then was like, but we can still play this if I let him lead my army. And then he tells Canutus that he's leading my army. Then when we go to attack and Canutus comes to attack and Edricus, turns out to be the traitor that he is, and it looks like we're going to lose. So Canutus's side, thinks that they've won. They stop fighting as hard. That's when Edmund's troops can come in and really, win the whole deal. So Edricus is doing sort of this double agent thing, and we as the audience don't necessarily know what side he's really on, because he told us early on that he's on whatever side is going to win, but that he likes Canutus just a smidge better. So Act 4, Scene 3, Canutus has received a letter from Edricus that says, haha, yes, I'm in Edmund's good graces and I'm leading his army. So yesterday Canutus gave sort of a rousing, let's go get him type speech. And he was like, any of my soldiers that kills the king will get a king's ransom for it. And a bunch of the soldiers are like, it's gonna be me, I'm gonna do it, I wanna make my wife a lady. And one of them's like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be not just the king, but also a duke and also a gentleman. And the Earl of Southampton steps in sort of as the voice of reason and says, or nobody, and then you'll hit it. Tell not your chickens, sirs, ere they be hatched. Perchance the eggs are rotten in the nest, then all your brooding hopes is cast away, and you remain as rich as new-shorn sheep. I never loved to gain by treachery, for that again was lost by treachery. I do remember hardy Hannibal did use these words at one Tarentum's loss. Idem arte qui prias copimus, Tarentum amisumus. Fraud won Tarentum, fraud Tarentum lost. So Hannibal reaps his labor for his cost. And I apologize to any Latin speakers out there for slaughtering the language of Latin in those two lines. But the gist of those two lines is, as we lost it before, we've lost Tarentum again. And it's a reference to Hannibal going and losing at Tarentum. So what the Earl of Southampton here is saying, he literally says, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. Canutus and his army think that they're going to win, that they've got this outright. But Southampton is remembering that Edricus was a secret agent going over there. So this is sort of by nefarious means that they might win right now. And he's like, nothing good ever comes of that. When nefarious things happen, nefarious things end up being undone, or more nefarious things mean that whatever it was happened in the first place gets undone. So he's like, slow your roll, for lack of a better phrase. He's telling everybody to just calm down. These aren't necessarily the best of circumstances under which they can be going into war. Things might look good, but you never know. It's war. You don't know what's going to happen. At which point a drum sounds, signaling that Edmund and his army are approaching, and Canutus is like, yeah, come on, Edmund, bring it, let's go. So Edmund and his army come in against Canutus, who's already there with his army, and they start fighting, and then Canutus sort of leads the fight off stage, and that's the end of Act 4, Scene 3. So who do you think's going to win this one? Who does Edricus ultimately betray the most? I don't know. I'd be interested to hear your comments, so please leave one, and I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.